Thank you, Mr. President, council members, citizens of Scottsboro. That's what I wanted to discuss with you just a few minutes here is about this plan for redevelopment. I do support the redevelopment. I think that the downtown Scottsboro area, and what I understand, moving out 1 mile from the northwest corner of the square is a good idea. There are areas of urban life, and as the papers I've presented to you, it describes exactly what urban blight is. And it's a little different than what most people think. If I may just for a moment give a simple definition, something that impairs growth, withers hopes and ambition, or impedes progress and prosperity. Within planning and redevelopment practice, blight may refer to these impairments on the physical fabric, buildings, properties, public improvements, on community structure, and social fabric of the community. In redevelopment, there is one thing, the folks that came forward from the Scottsboro Committee and the Revitalized Scottsboro talked a lot about entertainment on the downtown square. Obviously, that's a wonderful thing, but the purpose of redevelopment is not solely entertainment, although entertainment may be one of those factors in a redevelopment plan. And really my purpose of coming forward tonight is to stress the importance to all involved in this to have a definitive plan when you go forward into this process of redevelopment, so that any redevelopment plan and focus of a redevelopment authority will have a positive effect, a well-rounded effect in improving the environments of the downtown Scottsboro area. And of course that would also include the north part of town, particularly the old industrial area. At one time, man, it looked terrible up there, and there's still a lot of improvements that can be made. To include Scottsboro's property up there on that side of town. There are basic premises that should underlie and support all redevelopment, and those are 5 premises. One is clearly defined process for determining eligibility of designated areas in which municipality or governments have the authority to engage in redevelopment projects, including both prevention and elimination of blight, and provision for public-private partnerships. And of course, you already have the CDC, CDA, Commercial Development Authority. And the way I see it as an observer and been following city government for a long time, the Commercial Development Authority and redevelopment would work hand in hand to improve the downtown area of Scottsboro. A means of choosing partners that is fair, open, equitable, transparent, while protected of trade secrets or other proprietary data, and demonstrated to be the best choice of the public interest. 3, mechanisms to prevent the use of partnerships to subvert the responsibilities that are imposed on the public agency. Although a redevelopment authority, much like CDA, would be developed under a corporate authority of the state, financing of that authority and financing of projects, as has occurred with other corporate authority, always falls back on the council. So unless there's some extreme or strange, I guess you would say, wantonness of a bank locally to finance such an opportunity, Scottsboro is going to be responsible for this in the bottom line. And that's important. And of course, this ensures a due process. So you just, because of the finances, you cannot absolve your personal responsibility as a council for there be dollars somebody else later down the road. Assurance that public-private partnerships adhere to the adopted plans of the jurisdiction, and requirements for clearly defined responsibilities and liabilities of public and private partners. And I think it's interesting, Mrs. Light is going to give you all a little presentation. I was looking at her information sheet, and there's a lot of money that's available through redevelopment. I think it's a good idea, but I just caution all involved to move carefully and have a plan. And we've got a city engineer. And for instance, all this information I'm presenting here, and he is our planner. This comes from the American Planning Association. There's a link listed here. And I would encourage all parties to use the city engineer and use the planner's guide, which is available on redevelopment. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Mr. Everlast. 3 times. I'm a little bit thankful that Mr. Morgan is halfway on my side. So
100% on your side.
Okay. I just wanted to bring you this paper so that you guys can understand. I know that we've talked several times about events and things like that that would bring people downtown. However, I just need for everybody to understand that there's so much more to that and so many angles that you can look at. I just want you all to know that this downtown Scottsboro group is not affiliated with this redevelopment authority that we're asking you all to bring forward. We are not interested in the grants. My group would like to do more event type things. But this group, this redevelopment authority, really needs to take place because there is a lot of money sitting out there for us to have, and we can get that. All these towns have this and are using it to their advantage, and I just feel like we are missing out. Scottsboro is a great place. I have a business on the square. I have a child that lives in this town. I mean, we need things to do, businesses to go to. I want to shop local, so I need, to stress that as much as possible. There are just loads of opportunities. So I would really encourage anyone. Mr. Morgan has obviously researched this week, and if anybody would like to sit down with me and see if we could just figure out all the pluses for our city. I know that we have a commercial development, but I think this reaches even farther than what the commercial development can do. So if you all just take that into consideration and read over that, and if you have any questions, please let me know.